guys, how are you today?
Good.
So who of you here are interested in business? And who of you think that you are not sure sometimes how to apply the knowledge you learned from school to have your own business? Yeah. So looking around the room, this is the problem that we want to address. So personally for me, I found out about this conference purely out of luck. I myself participate in things like Deca, and I'm very interested in business, yet I didn't know where to come to find tangible information on how to start my own business and where to go forth with it. So therefore, our problem is two-faced. Firstly, we're going to be focusing on teenagers that lack the opportunity to meet peers curious about career and career options. Secondly, that need guidance and knowledge about business operations and entrepreneurship. So our solution is we would like to present a conference setting which you will learn about 4 basic branches. Firstly, career options for people our age. Secondly, business operations in the real world. Thirdly, financial literacy. And fourthly, entrepreneurship.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty details of what's going to happen. My colleague Jessica is going to hand each of the judges a run sheet or rundown of how our event is going to go. So it's a one-day conference in which we plan to invite students from both Y2-DSB and Y2-CDSB to come and listen to keynotes, which will be featuring world-class speakers. We'll have workshops and panels in which they'll be able to interact with industry professionals and build up that mentorship and mentee relationship in which is proven successful in many facets around the business world. And finally, we'll offer networking sessions to provide like-minded individuals to support and to find and build relationships between each other. So for how we're going to market this event, this is going to be a very big opportunity, a lot of things we have to focus on. So on your right, you'll see a rough example of a poster we plan to post around schools. As schools, students will be able to look at them and hopefully be more informed about these events. Next, we'll have social media posts. This is the most vital part of our marketing campaign, as almost all students will have social media, and they'll be checking it regularly, which will buy ads, and which we'll utilize that to buy ads off Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and any other social media platforms. Next, we have online advertisements. This will allow parents to be notified of school websites and to find off parenting websites to be notified about this event, which would greatly benefit their child. Next, we'll have word of mouth and peer referrals through schools and through friends. And finally, we'll have co-branding opportunities, in which we allow small businesses and corporations to gain exposure at our event in exchange for them to sponsor us at our event.
So to fund the event, there are going to be 4 main expenses: speakers, venue, marketing, and film and photography of the event. For speakers, they're going to cost around $6,500, and we have 3 paid speakers, but we also have 18 free speakers. As far as the venue cost would be $10,000, but we've reached a deal to waive that cost as long as we pay our own catering fees, which total $3,500. We've also allocated $1,000 to go towards our marketing budget, and $500 for film and photography. And so that adds up to the total event cost of $11,500. So we need 323 students to break even on our event. Each of the students pays $35 for a ticket, and students would be coming from 15 different schools over 2 different school boards. Our projected attendance for the event is 450 students. And my colleague Daniel will later explain how we came to this projection. If our projection comes true, we will have about $4,500 in revenue. The event can hold around 1,000 people. So if we get our total event capacity of 1,000 students, we can make up to $24,000 in revenue. Since we don't have any manufacturing or inventory costs, the more people that attend our event, the more profit we make. And we can make up to $24,000 in profit.
In the past week, me and my team have reached out to 15 to 20 different schools in both York Region districts, YCDSB and YRDSB. We have 2 student trustees who are going to help with approval from both York Region District school boards and will also help us get more help being approved. We also have reached out through surveys to 400 plus students who will be interested to attend our conference. and we have 35 plus business owners and leaders who will be interested in helping and participating in our events.
So how's this going to be is this feasible for the next 5 years? As look around, it's all teenagers. No matter what, there's always going to be people that are interested in business. So regardless of how many, how much, where we're going to go next, it's going to be scalable as people will tell others about how successful our event is, and they'll be more interested to learn more and to gain more connections between them. So can we sustain this event? So after the success of our first event in this year, we want to reach out to other school boards across Ontario and hopefully across Canada in order to promote our event, as there's a need for a business-driven generation nowadays. And also, there's also the opportunity to expand across Canada, as I mentioned before.
So, you might be thinking, how can I help? How can such a good idea exist and already not be prevalent in today's society? So, here's your answer. We have come up with this idea, and we want you all to be a part of this. But sadly, money runs the world. So we're looking for 5,000 financial support from anyone donating, and you will receive this money back by the end of the conference. It'll be the money will go towards 4 main targets. So the venue down payment, which will come out to $1,500, media marketing for $1,000, the speaker down payment of $2,000, and miscellaneous and contingency costs, which we predict might go somewhere around $500. So for all these reasons, if you listen today, this is not only something we want to produce, it's not something just needed for me individually or the peers around me today. It's something we need in society, because we need like-minded individuals to come together to further society and come up with mind-breaking ideas that will just run the world. And this is why we think that if we connect everyone together, there's only success for more. So we hope you can be a part of our journey. Thank you.
Great presentation, fantastic idea. I think it's fascinating. You guys have landed on something that I think you guys could genuinely make work. I have a question about this actually. So I'm staring at this. Why ask for money up front when you could just go sell tickets up front and use ticket sales to fund the $5,000? That's what all the other events do. And then if you don't run the event or you don't sell enough, you've either proven that the market doesn't exist and therefore you shouldn't do it, or you've got money and you don't have to pay it back, you're not paying investors, you're not paying interest, it's just pure, you're using pure cash.
So because we have so many speakers, it's really hard to put that many speakers together in a time frame that we can ask students for money, which would be about a month. So we also need to put a down payment on our location, our venue. So we need the money up front to get ourselves off the ground and have a venue in which we can say, we have a venue, will you come speak here? Because nobody is going to speak for us if we don't have a place to do it, right? So we need the investment money to get ourselves off the ground, and it will be paid back once the event's over and we get the money from the ticket sales.
Have you asked a speaker yet?
Yes, we've talked to all the speakers that we mentioned. So our 18 free speakers, Justin knows more about this than me. He's contacted them.
So I've contacted many speakers, business leaders across Ontario, and many of them reached out saying that they'll support and they'll come speak at our event. So some of them, as listed in the run sheet we gave to you, they offer to speak for us either for free or they want a very small payment given to them.
My question, also echoing what Sean said, definitely, I think you guys can make this work, and I'm excited to see it. And if you need any more speakers, please let me help. So that's kind of my investment into you guys, because I think this is a great idea. My question for you is more what your revenue is going to be used for, because you did talk about being able to make some revenue, and if the answer is to have more events, then maybe do you guys think you could consider yourself a not-for-profit organization or
Yes.
a for-profit business?
Yeah, we are a not-for-profit organization. All extra revenue will be put into events in the future and expanding and reaching more kids in Toronto and the GTA and hopefully beyond. So yeah.
Excellent.
Any competitors in the space other than I think you mentioned Deca?
Okay, so Deca is a little bit different in regards to Deca is like a club in the school, and not a lot of people participate. And if they do, it's a competition, and people that already know about business or understand the terms about like all these big business words, like what they mean, usually participate in these events. So we're not only targeting those people to further their education, we're also looking for the individuals that really don't know, am I gonna go into business or this or what is business? And we feel like that question is really not answered, especially when it like applies to real life. So by connecting them with like-minded individuals, some of which know what they're doing, some of which don't, but both that are open to the conversation and both that want to further their education in regards to what they want to do next, that's really who we're targeting. So hope that answers it.
And another question to follow up with that. Since you mentioned, Deca is like a school organized club, are there any resources at school or outside of school that you could probably tap into?
So like obviously there's all these websites and apps, you can always find out more about these topics that we want to be shown in our conference. However, yeah, we want to make it more personal and face-to-face instead, as many people want to develop relationships with each other rather than have them just look at a screen and say, yeah, I got this. Rather than, we want to like make sure that people will be able to build relationships with each other when they come to our events, rather than just look at a screen and just look at these resources, as many people may not have access to these outside of school due to their whatever problems they may have outside of school.
As well as, when we were putting it together, we have talked to some school boards and we have petitioned this to see if we can use the school boards and get this to be like a field trip kind of idea for people that are interested in it. So we're looking through several different pathways, and we have contacted some school boards right now, and as we said, we're working around 2 trustees who are helping us see if schools can be a part of this, or maybe make this into like a extracurricular. We're kind of like looking through different pathways, but we thought first off, before going crazy, because there's so much to do with this idea, to start off with a conference, see how much people we can bring in, and then go further with that.
Great job, guys.
So congratulations.